What's up?
Aren't you doing it for the likes?
Nah, I ain't doing it for the likes.
Oh, okay. Hold up. So you doing it for the pussy?
Nah, I mean, yeah, no, I ain't doing it for that.
Okay, then. What are you doing it for?
Man, I do it for the culture.
Culture.
So you felt like who got snowed?
So I think, honestly, Candace Thompson should have made the top 8. For sure.
Okay, so it was like 64, 32, 16, 8? Oh.
No, it was just 28 for 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets cut to 8 for the last round.
Okay.
So last round's 8. But yeah, man, shout out to Ken Boyd.
Shout outs to my dude, Ken Boyd.
Yeah. And shout out to Kira for winning it.
Yeah, whoever she is. Shout outs to you, girl.
Kira,
I heard you funny. You guys had a good time up there, though?
Yeah, it was fun.
Y'all definitely going back next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going back next year, and we might do Big Pine also.
What's Big Pine?
Flagstaff, Arizona.
Okay. I'll keep tabs on that one, too.
Yeah, do it. Big Sky is the American festival to go to.
Right, after Montreal. Because Montreal's Canada.
Montreal's Canada. Yeah. I mean, South by Southwest is dope. But
Southwest, they're just getting big A-list names now. It's not like a place for you to break yourself. It's already after you popping. But but my boy did Big Sky the year before. So, yeah, that's the festival that's coming up. Then there's Laughing Skull. Moon Tower.
Moon Tower.
Boston's pretty help you in the beginning.
I've heard great things about Moon Tower.
Yeah. Moon Tower is good. Tony, how you feeling, boy?
I'm good, dog.
Well, thanks for being here. You know, we got the couch. We got more room this week, you know, so the nuts can spread. The nuts can spread. Yo, you know, in New York, have you seen a video where there's these bitches come on a train and they start doing ball shaming?
Yeah, and they like throw the water.
Yeah, they throw water, and then the girl's like, "What the fuck, bro?" And then it's a girl, so you can't hit her.
I'll splash her ass.
That's why. If I have a bottle of water, I always keep water on me. You definitely getting spashed back, bitch.
Yeah.
I'll fuck your day up just like you fucked mine up, shit. And I'm gonna put my balls out again. You think that's gonna stop me just because you spray some shit?
I mean, sometimes my balls are hot. It needs water.
And it needs cooling off.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're doing me a service.
Thank you.
I just leave my shit open. Refreshing.
You
got more?
You got more. That's the thing. You gotta be sexual and dirty because then her thing won't work. I was like, yeah, I like it. My balls splashed on the train. Oh my God. What's up, everybody? This is another episode of For the Culture Live. We can start saying live sometimes because that could help people find this shit. I'm your host, Nick Alexander. Here to my left, my boy, Tony Sterlin. Ty Sterlin.
Yo.
Which one we gonna go by?
My show name is Ty Sterlin.
Show name is Ty, so I'm gonna call you Ty. No more Tony.
Yeah.
We killed Tony.
You can call me that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ty. And then we also got Paul, who's gonna, hanging out with us today. Yeah. Not by choice though. He's forced to. He's on payroll. But we still love Paul. How you doing, man?
Sick, man.
So what'd you have? You had a cold?
Yeah, but it's like a sinus thing.
Those are the worst. Especially out here, man, because this shit is just dry every fucking day.
Any sickness that like you're driving and your ears feel clogged, you know, like that's the worst. It's all in the head.
Yeah. Yo, Tony, what you did this weekend, bro?
I just came back from Canada.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was Canada?
It was cool. It was cold.
How cold is it right now?
Last I checked, it was like in the 30s, 20, and that's not even cold for them.
30s, our 30s, or like their Celsius shit? Because
our 30s.
Our 30s?
Yeah, and that's not even cold for them. That's cold for me.
No, it's cold for you.
Coming from Miami, but
yeah, you're all from your whole life has been spent in warm regions.
Yeah,
so I could imagine. 30s is like, you say you got to get the little under stuff under your jeans.
Huh?
You put like the undergarments, like leggings,
I had these under my
thermal,
jeans.
the thermal shirts,
and I had the boots on and shit.
Yeah. Oh, you got to pull out your boots. Okay,
yeah. All right. Canada's weird, man.
I like Canada.
Like it's different because it's a lot of Arabs there.
It's mixed. It's very mixed. Well, what area were you in?
I was in Toronto.
That's the most mixed city in the world.
Yeah,
they have like. Now, all right, I don't want to be objectifying, but like when it comes to like women, it's like literally like a pick your litter. Like you can get like a French Jamaican or a Russian Barbados or a Trinidadian Portuguese. Like it's just so mixed. It's so crazy. It's but it's dope.
And God damn it, they love Drake. I was in the club for like 2 hours. Every song that they played had to have Drake in it.
Damn, no Tory?
No, man.
I'm looking. I gotta play Tory. He just put out some new music. I fucks with Tory. I like Tory.
Oh, I was fucking.
I mean, I'm a Drake fan too, but I just think that he's not the only one in Toronto.
Exactly.
But I get it. He's a god. He's only his god level is only ascending. Part of the Raptors. Raptors are good. It's so many.
Yeah, and I was in Toronto when Toronto smacked LA this weekend.
Yeah, that was bad.
They ass
with no Kawhi.
LeBron ain't played the fourth quarter though, but still.
Nigga. What's going on? They gonna keep Luke? I think they're being unfair to Luke. Magic is being he's being ridiculous with his expectation.
Yeah, it's
like, come on, man.
You can't expect him to just click like that.
In 8 games, you got like 8 new niggas.
Yeah, it's not going.
LeBron don't play hard till March.
Yeah, you got to give him some time.
What did they do when LeBron went from Cleveland to Miami, though?
This is what happened in Miami, right? Mm-hmm. So they started out struggling because Bosh, Wade, the rest of the starting 5 and cast were trying to adjust how to play together, and it was the same shit. How long is Spoelstra going to last? Is Spoelstra going to be able to keep his job because LeBron can't adjust or whatever? And they put out the shit where they're saying how LeBron went to like Pat Riley and was like, I don't know if he was trying to say get him the fuck out of there, but it was kind of like, hey, what's up with this guy or whatever. And then Pat was like, he's our coach. Deal with it.
Yeah. And
then they eventually bought in, and Spoelstra had the kind of thing with the pace and the space, and then eventually it evolved into Bosh becoming more of a pick and pop guy and spreading out to the 3-point line so that the floor was more wide open, and that's where they started adapting of getting more shooters on the team. So that's when the Mike Miller and then Ray Allen came, and so. Yeah. But the first year is just rough. It's too many new guys, and also they're all their games didn't fit naturally. Like Wade is a slasher, and this is prime Wade slashing. You know what I'm saying? He has the mid range, but most of his game is getting to the hole, free throw, and then maybe in isolation. LeBron,
he didn't shoot threes back then.
He didn't shoot threes. LeBron, sort of shot threes, but not really. Not super efficient. Yeah. And then he dominates the ball majority of the game. And then Chris Bosh was, mid post, face up 10 to 15 feet. So now he can't get those anymore. So he's just kind of like trying to figure out what can I do. And but the reason why the Boston trio fit was because I think they were more mature, so they were more ready to just buy in and not really care about who's leading the team or whatever like that. And their games complement each other because Ray Allen was more of a sharp shooter, scorer. He doesn't need to dribble that much. You just got to get him the ball and then he can make shots and it's easier for him. Pierce is the kind of do-it-all scorer, and then KG is the big man, mid-post, low post. He can pass. He doesn't really need touch. He don't care. He'll spend more energy on defense. So they just kind of more fit together than the Heat did. But they figured it out, obviously. But with the Lakers, here's the thing. They got a lot of guys who can create, right? So Tony would, I think you see it. They got Brandon Ingram is like a point forward-ish kind of.
Bro, don't talk to me about BI.
He is, but he that's his game.
Man, listen, I feel like he's not where he's supposed to be yet.
I think so.
They keep comparing him to KD. You can't.
No, he's not. He's not KD. He doesn't have the same athleticism. That. He's a good player though.
Moves like that.
He got moves.
He's all right.
He got moves.
He's okay. I just feel like
he made
honestly, I think Kuzma's going to be better than him.
I give it to Ingram.
Yeah,
man.
You might not believe me, but I'm telling you, Kuzma has game, and you know why people don't think Kuzma has game like that? Like why they just kind of like look over him? It's because his game is boring.
No, I'll agree that
he'll back you down. I seen him throw up a hook shot. Like he was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He got old school shit.
He plays like an old man, but he gets buckets.
I think Kuzma will be a solid like 20 a game guy for like the next 8 to 10 years. But here's the thing with Ingram, right? Like you saw his leap from year 1 to year 2. Like at one point he was playing like point guard for the Lakers, and he had like 16, like 5 and 5. He could be a guy who gets you like
65% from the free throw line.
That needs to get better, but he's only 21 years old. Kuzma's already 23, 24.
I never shot 65% from the free throw line ever in my career. Ever.
I never counted percentages.
I mean, look at Blake. Blake came into the league. He was shooting under 50, right?
From the field goal or from free throw?
No, for free throw.
Right, and he improved.
And now he's like almost to 80.
He's like in his 15th year in the league.
But
still. But it's improved. I think he's going to.
Ingram is going to improve at the rate, not at a rate Kuzma will. Kuzma's just going to give you 20. He'll probably get more efficient, but I don't think he'll get you other shit. Like he can't run. I don't see him running the ball for a team like Ingram can.
Nah, he's 6'9", 6'10". Like he's like a big body. Like
Right, but that's the thing.
Okay,
the way Ingram is built,
it's two different games though. It's two different games.
But they're the same size. But these are the things that Ingram can do as opposed to what Kuzma can do. So that's more impressive to me because one, he's younger.
How tall is Ingram?
He's like 6'9", 6'10".
And he can't play defense. all that length, he can't play defense.
He just needs to get stronger so he can hold his position. But he'll
throw
come.
a punch.
Lonzo,
He can throw.
yeah, because you got like what's the dude's name in Street Fighter? Dawson?
Yeah. He got the Dawson reach.
Lakers added someone today.
Right.
Did you see
Oh,
that?
Tyson, the deal's official?
Tyson
My
Chandler's
boy's
official.
back in L.A., baby.
He was never here in L.A.
Dominguez High School. Stop it.
Right. That was 20 years
Stop
ago.
it.
Old
Dominguez.
ass nigga. But yeah, shout out
Dominguez
to
High
Tyson.
School, nigga.
It's 1976.
He was flexing on the couch. I think that's a good look. I think he can play really hard 10, 12 minutes. And that way they don't have to play Kuzma and LeBron at the 5. Like they don't have to give him as much small ball 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Like
they need to give JaVale a rest.
So-
you know he got asthma and shit.
he said that's not a problem. It's everybody else who keeps saying that shit.
Oh,
but
okay.
there's gotta be some truth to it. If he only ever played 25 to 30 in his career, he never got up to a high usage minutes guy. Your Clippers won though.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all beat up the
Oh,
fucking.
time out. You're a Clippers fan?
I'm a Clippers
He's
fan.
loyal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm loyal.
All right, hold on. This is something I always
All right,
wanted to figure out.
Here's the quiz.
How did you become a Clippers fan? Because I always thought like you have the Lakers here. Why would you like the
The
Clippers?
Darius Miles era.
So I grew up.
This nigga?
Yeah.
My first jersey I ever owned was Corey Maggette.
Oh, Maggette.
So it's like I got into the Clippers
The
when
buff man.
they were finally starting to do they didn't hit the playoffs yet, but they had a team that was
Yeah.
fun to watch.
they were on their way, and then that owner was so fucking cheap.
Yeah, they've been that.
Yo,
team,
you know they used to practice at a JUCO college in Inglewood.
Mhm.
That's how cheap the owner
They
was.
used to practice at an LA Fitness. Like they used to work out at an LA Fitness.
Could you imagine, bro?
Wow.
In
Yeah,
the
that's
2000s, like when all the big budget rapper shits and everything was crazy in LA, and these motherfuckers had to go to JUCO colleges in Inglewood to go practice.
Yeah, Karan Butler just came out and said it.
There was a real story. No, Darius Miles too. There was a story that they did about Darius Miles. He talked about where he's been and like all the shit that he went through. He had like a really fucked up life.
Oh
Like,
yeah. He from St. Louis, right?
Yeah,
from
like
St.
just like depression among depression. But he was just saying how that's what they used to practice, and when him and Q Rich, they weren't old enough to get in clubs, and how they would practice and try to find shit to do afterwards. But that owner was so fucking cheap, and that was the only reason why they broke up was because the owner did not want to spend any money. That racist dude,
Oh,
Donald
it was the
Sterling.
racist
Donald
dude.
Sterling, he was so fucking cheap. Like before the NBA had to start spending money on guys, they would just they had talent, but then they would just get rid of it so they wouldn't have to pay people. The only one who got to stay on that contract on the first time was Elton Brand. He sort of worked it out where I guess people, I think was it Baylor, Elgin Baylor finally pushed to maybe like we got to spend money on this guy.
Well, even that, and then that he had a bad time because he fucked over the Clippers. Elton Brand did.
Because after the surgery, he made them give him the max.
Nah, so Elton Brand had told the Clippers, "I'm gonna re-sign with you,"
Right.
and then signed with Philly. Right?
yeah,
He went over to Philly. So then that's when they got Baron Davis.
Baron
Baron
Golden
Davis.
State deal.
Here's another one. Baron Davis gets traded in a salary dump to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Jamario Moon and Mo Williams, and they attached a first round pick to Baron Davis.
That was Kyrie.
Ended up being the number 1 overall pick, Kyrie Irving.
Fuck. Just to get out of Baron's contract.
Just to get out of Baron's contract
That
to
was
clear up room for Chris Paul.
Okay.
Like they were making the long term play to free up space
Because they already had Blake by then. Because Baron was there
Yeah.
for Blake's first
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Okay,
They
and
already
Baron was
had
kind of done. Baron was kind of like he wasn't the same anymore. That's interesting.
he was kind of trash.
So, okay, you got into the Clippers because Maggette was a jersey, so you just said, I'm just going to follow them
I
and
had
watch them.
that my first game. Actually, to this day, I've never been to a Laker game. To this day,
That's loyal.
but I've been to a lot of Clipper games.
Yeah, we don't go because I see in the game time app, I be seeing like $20, $40 seats in the good sections.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Let's,
Fucking
I want to
chest
check
hurts.
out Dallas. We'll go for my Knicks
Mhm.
when they come to town, but I want to go see Luka Doncic play.
Mhm.
Maybe see Phoenix play. I want to see Booker and Ayton, how they play together.
Mhm.
Trying to think who else.
And
I
not
wanna
only
go
this,
see.
and this is what I've been telling people. The Clippers got a decent squad this year if they could stay healthy. They're beating some teams.
Here's the thing. They have good depth at each position. So they have like starting caliber guys. They just don't have a star.
Yeah.
And with they can have 2 max slots this summer or
Yeah.
at least 1.
Yeah, and there's a report out today saying that everybody's expecting Kawhi to sign with Clippers.
Because apparently he said he wasn't a fan of Kobe growing up. He was an Iverson fan, which would explain the braids.
Yeah, he's not a Laker guy.
Yo, I feel like LeBron's not gonna get nobody.
If Kawhi don't come to LA,
He's not coming.
Fuck him.
He's not coming. You guys are gonna have to trade everything for Anthony Davis.
Nah, it's not happening.
Nick, listen, I'm gonna tell you something about Nick, man. Nick is the biggest
What's up?
low-key Laker hater I know.
That's not true.
No, it is true. Stop.
that's not
Stop.
true.
It's true.
That's
Stop.
not
Stop.
true.
All right, let me finish what I'm saying.
I refute that.
I've known you for a long time, dog.
Okay.
Every time, it doesn't matter who the Lakers are playing, this nigga goes for the other team. I know him. He does it every
Not
fucking
against
time.
Miami.
No, okay, Miami is an exception because we hate on Miami together. But every other team,
The second Laker
every
Boston series, I rooted for the Lakers because I wanted Kobe to
every
get it without Shaq
other time, you
and Ron
want-
Artest.
You want, yeah, you Ron Artest. See, something has to be in his favor.
Of course. My
But
New York
yes.
niggas got to get a ring.
Yeah, see, so he is a low key Laker.
New York
hater,
and
dog.
Lamar. No, you know what's
You
funny?
don't know. I've been taking notes all these years.
That's not true because I was actually a very big Kobe Shaq fan. But that was before we got to know you. You didn't know me then.
So I didn't know you then.
but
So I know you as a hater, undercover hater. You hide it,
More-
but I'm putting it all on front.
more
street.
like Laker disliker.
For the
Because
culture.
I feel you guys
Live
for the culture.
today. I'm letting you know Nick is a Laker hater. Low key though, he won't say it out loud. That's why he keeps denying it right now.
That's not true.
But I'm telling you, I know this nigga.
Here's what I say about the Lakers. I think you guys are very spoiled fans. So when I say y'all complaining, I don't think y'all really know what a struggle to be a struggling franchise. Y'all don't know what that is. You guys have been lucky because you had great management and great ownership that worked hand in hand and kept you guys at the top of the league for like 40 fucking plus years.
We struggled long enough, Nick. It's
Nigga,
not
that was
enough.
4 years. That was not real struggle.
So you mad at us because we don't like the struggle?
Absolutely. No, I'm mad because you guys don't know what real struggle is.
I'm a Clipper fan. I know what struggle is.
He knows what struggle
All
is.
right.
I know what struggle
By the way,
is.
the greatest team to never win a ring, my Clippers.
Which year?
2 years ago, the one where they lost to Houston.
Oh, that's like 4 years
No.
ago now. They talk about when they
Oh,
blew
yeah.
it against Blake.
Yeah, but what
against
about
James Harden.
GSW? Didn't they win like 70
Oh, they
something
lost
games
to GSW.
and they lost.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest.
And they lost in the finals.
But
Yeah,
still,
it has to
if
be
you had a
that one.
tournament,
Okay, so-
if you had a tournament,
Besides GSW, Clippers is what you're saying. Okay.
That was a talented team. That probably was their year to get it. They had everything at every position.
they just had too much ego.
Too much ego.
Chris Paul, not a good teammate.
That's not true because Chris Paul never loses.
Bro, I'm telling you
Any
right now,
team that Chris Paul's on, they win. He changed the Hornets around. He got the Clippers winning.
he is a good player. He's not a good teammate. He's not a good person.
He's still a
And-
winner.
And this is okay. That's fine. I'm gonna tell you right now, Kobe's not a good person.
He's not a good teammate either.
That's what I'm telling you.
But he's still a winner.
Okay, but we're not talking about who's a winner.
But the
who's
Clippers'
not.
fault ain't because of Chris Paul. It's because of other niggas.
All I'm saying is them niggas don't like playing with him.
They didn't like playing with him.
But
Did you see
what are they doing
DeAndre
since?
and Blake check out?
What were they doing?
checked out.
What were they doing before though? They wasn't doing shit before he
They
got there.
were.
They wasn't doing shit before he got there.
Listen, anytime somebody spits in your face, that there's something going on. Like,
Rondo spit in his face.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
There's something going on. The people really just don't like. Kobe didn't even get spit in the face. Kobe got a clothesline, but he get, but he didn't get a spit to the face.
Hey, my favorite moment from last year
What's up?
was when
The tunnel shit? In
No,
Houston?
no. That was,
when you do the secret
Don't bring it
passage
back.
or
That
whatever?
was so dumb.
That's so dumb.
I was the first one that retweeted all those pictures of Chris Paul getting punched in the face. I was
Hilarious.
like, good, he deserves it. Jamal Crawford, when he ran through Chris Paul and Chris Paul flopped. Chris Paul's on the Rockets, Jamal's on the Timberwolves,
Yeah, he's in Minnesota.
and Jamal stands over him and just starts
Damn.
looking at him and
That's
starts
crazy.
barking at him.
I just don't get like
My favorite moment of last year.
I'm telling you, man, people don't like that.
but the
guy.
best players and leaders are you're not supposed to be liked.
LeBron,
Low-key-
LeBron is really liked.
Low key niggas don't like LeBron. Half the niggas that LeBron players don't like him though.
But look at Chris Paul.
That's out there.
Look at Chris Paul, hurt at the most critical time.
It's unfortunate though. Is that his fault? He plays 100 miles. He goes
fragile.
hard.
What
He's a
you think?
fragile boy.
What you think about veteran saying Colin Sexton don't know how to play ball?
I thought that was fucked up. Honestly,
I
I don't think that's their place to tell the media that.
Yeah, it's not their place to tell me, but in some, I think it's kind of true because as a point guard, he's not getting no assists. He's
learning the game.
He's a good scorer.
Yeah.
He's a good scorer. Trey Young is averaging like 8.5. Luka's averaging like what 7.
Yeah.
So if they can get it, you can at least give me 5. He's not even giving me
Or
5.
3 to
assists.
4.
But what pick
You know
was
what I
he?
mean?
He was number 8.
So he went just like a pick after Trey, right? Didn't Trey go 7?
Nah, Trey was like 5 and then traded for Luka.
When was the last time you saw this much pressure on a number 8 pick?
Right, exactly.
You know?
Right.
Like he wasn't a top 5. That's what it's
I think
it's
after
like,
the top 5, and then between 6 and 14, it's like it's supposed to. You're hopeful that the lottery picks are good. If they're anything more, then that's a bonus. But
yeah.
outside of the top 5, you're not supposed to
Well, look at Shea with the Clippers.
Yeah, he's playing
Everybody's
solid.
like, they're like, he's gonna be the new point guard of the future. Blah blah blah. Blah. I was like, yeah, but he went 11 or 12.
Right.
Like, why are you putting that much pressure on somebody who wasn't good enough to go top 5?
Right. I think like I said with Colin, like I don't think they said that he was trying to see if he can mentor him, but he's not taking that. Like I don't think that should be put out there. It's just unfortunate in social media, like shit is gonna get out. But I think that hurts Colin because like it's only been 10 games. Like your numbers can dip. Like none of these niggas went through the wall yet. Yeah. So their stats can decline. He can maybe start figuring it out by January, how to like figure the defenses and know how to make the right passes. And you got to get steady PT. I mean, I think he's playing a good amount because he can score the rock. That's his best trait right now. And I thought they said he was a better defender in college, but he's adjusting because it's another level. So you're going against bigger guys. Point guards are 6'3", 6'4". They got height on you. They got a jumper. They got more explosive. So he got to take his licks. That's just what it is right now.
What you think about the situation with Murray and Kyrie?
Kyrie need to stop bitching, yo. Play some fucking defense.
Murray should not have taken that shit.
Nigga, I want to get my 50.
Hold on.
Fuck all that.
Hold on.
I have to watch that clip though. Let me watch the play real quick. Go ahead and talk while I watch it.
All right. I agree. He shouldn't have took that shot, but at the same time, like it's not to the point where like I'm taking the ball and I'm throwing it in the stands. You know what I mean? Like, and also he dropped 48. You got to play D. You got to be mad at yourself for letting him get that much. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can't. I would be upset that he took the shot, but I'd be upset inside. I won't like express my anger because I already got burnt for 48.
Yeah.
Like I really have no place to say anything. Now if it was a close game all the way through and they found a way to just like blow us out, it's a blowout game, like they up by 30 and there's 2 seconds left and he throw up some shit like that, then I'm be like, okay, why?
So he got in his face and he throws the ball.
They were up by what, 7?
They beat him by 8 points. It was 115-107 with the clock running down. He went for the 3. Fuck it. Get 50.
I mean,
you remember that's why Kobe got his ass dragged to the scores table by Reggie Miller. You forgot that?
Because that was what Kobe did?
Yeah, Kobe took like a last second shot when the game was clearly over. And then Reggie got
found
upset.
disrespectful.
Yeah, and then got in
the
his
worst
face.
one, who's the player that he wanted to go for his triple-double?
Ricky Davis.
Yeah, so he shot at his own basket.
His own basket. Yep.
He missed it.
A step more
Okay,
disrespectful.
that's a little bit more like, come on, dude. Like, really?
Yeah, but it's in that same vein of like selfishness to me.
Who remembers when Karam Butler, the game was like basically over, and he went up to one of the players that had the ball in his hand. He went up to like acting like he was going to talk to him, and as he's like talking to him, he just grabs the ball out of his hand and then runs and do a layup.
And gets fouled. They were down by like 8-2 or something like that.
But what was this to do? It was just to get another point?
Yeah, just to get a point.
Yeah. Like he went for the handshake. He went like that.
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, look, yeah, you getting disrespected, but Kyrie, your guy, he dropped at least. He had 40 for the game. He was probably giving you the business, and you need to play better defense. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
Y'all can't be the best team in the East or like top 3 team in the league, and you're letting a guy get 48 on you. You're a third-year guard.
You heard what Jalen said?
What did Rose say?
He said, "If you don't want a guy to get 50, don't let him get 48." I would know.
He would know. He was part of the 81.
Mm-hmm.
He made sure that he let that be known before somebody get him for
Right. I would know.
But tell me, like 10 years ago, this fool would get berated. The next game he plays.
Yeah.
He's taking an elbow to the chest. That's disrespectful.
I guess.
That's
we'll see. Jamal's nice though. I mean, he got some game. Denver's looking really good. Man, my Knicks, we blew this fucking game to the Bulls, man. It was one of the most horrible games I ever watched.
Blew a game to the Bulls that had just lost by what to Golden State?
Like 40, 30.
That allowed.
And they're short on bodies. They don't have their whole. They're not healthy as a team. Zach LaVine put up 40. Zach LaVine is fucking nice, yo. I think he's gonna be a guy. He just turned.
I didn't know he could play point.
He can't play point.
Huh?
He still can't play point.
He can play point.
No, he cannot.
He's not a point guard.
He's a scorer.
But he can play point.
He can make some plays, but he ain't a point guard. They're waiting for Chris Dunn to get back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just said he's not a point guard.
But they have Cameron Payne starting at the one spot. But he dropped 40 on us. And like, yo, it was like he gets to the hole at rim. Like he has a great like one-on-one game. Like even during the second overtime, when he was tired, he was still getting to the rack and like he was finishing. Like, you know, when he was in Minnesota, you just saw the athlete, the dunk contest dude. But then he had a 3-point shot. You're like, oh, he could kind of score. And then he was kind of starting to really break out. And then he hurt the ACL. And I'm like, man, I hope he can come back. If he can stay healthy, man, he'll definitely be like a 24-point per game scorer for at least another, next 8 years.
What sucks is that question though, if he could stay healthy, because well,
this is his first year, so I'm giving him a benefit of the doubt. I have to say if, because it's a big injury, and he seems to have come back all the way. Like he's still explosive. He be still getting crazy dunks. He's still, whatever. He's scoring. He doesn't look like he lost really anything. Maybe he probably can't do that dunk contest shit at that level anymore, but he's back. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I have to put that if.
He's only 23.
Yeah, he came into the league and he was one and done. So that's the thing. When you're like, I was bringing up how Gilbert really emphasizes that age is better than when you're coming out. Like, if you're somebody who's 19 in the league doing shit is more impressive to me than somebody who's 22. That's like with the Ingram over Kuzma. Like, Kuzma is good, but I don't know how many more levels his game is going to take. With Ingram, you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like Giannis, who the fuck saw that coming?
I mean,
he went from like 6 to 12 to like 16.
He does got those stretch
22, 27, and I think he grew it like 1 inch, but like
those Dalsim punches, like he got those on. He could dunk it from half court.
This nigga does Euro step dunks from half court, like shit. Like he's a beast.
And he gained a lot of weight.
He got
stronger.
Is his brother out of the league or no?
The other one, I forgot his name.
Did he just get drafted this past year, or is it next year?
I think one might be getting drafted next year. I think one was like in the summer league though. One was in the summer league.
Was playing for the Mavericks, was it?
Yeah, he was in the Mavericks summer league squad. Maybe he's just riding the bench though. Mm-hmm. Who's the best player in the East? Who would you take?
Right now?
Yeah,
probably Kawhi.
Best player in the East, Kawhi.
Kawhi then Giannis.
I think I take Giannis.
I'm gonna throw a name out there too.
Kawhi got the experience and he's producing now. He looks like he's back, even though they're playing cautious with him. But man, Giannis is like,
you know his hand is 11.5 inches, the same size as Shaq.
Did you see that move where he dunked the ball and then caught it on his way down?
Yeah,
that shit is
was
crazy.
ridiculous. I think Tatum's up there too.
Oh, nah, he not yet.
Not yet.
Because I saw him ball out. Like just the start that he's having to this year.
Yeah. He leveled down some though.
Yeah, he did.
Kyrie's starting to get his legs up and putting the points. They're figuring out their offense though. They're struggling because they just got so many options now. Now it's almost too. They got too much pick of the litter.
Yeah, because you just added an all-star to your squad.
If I'm them, I trade Terry Rozier before he cashes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he said he's not signing back.
He can't because he wants to make $20 million and he doesn't want to play 15 minutes a night. Like he
wants to start somewhere.
He outgrew that. I mean, look, if you play at least 40 games, he played because Kyrie missed like half the year. He played at least 30, 40 games starting. And then as a starting point guard, the team got to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, that means he could probably start on like at least 20 teams at this point. He's probably like a top 15 point guard. Yeah, go get the bag, man. But they got Marcus Smart, so whatever little guard they can use to kind of fill up that slot. But they should just trade him and get more asses back.
I thought that's who they should have let walk.
I
think they should have let Marcus Smart.
You know why you let Marcus? You know why you keep Marcus instead of Terry? Because Marcus can guard more positions than Terry can. Because Marcus can go all the way up to like the 3 position because he's so strong and versatile. Where Terry, he's just 1, maybe a 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, even though Terry, I think, he's a better floater. But that's why you have Gordon Hayward though, because Gordon Hayward can make plays and do all that shit. So you don't really need.
Terry don't look like it, but he's explosive.
Yeah, he's sneaky. He got the sneaky bounce.
He almost dunked on LeBron.
He almost did.
He almost dunked on LeBron.
He got sneaky bounce.
But then Jason Tatum got him right after.
Yeah, Tatum is catching niggas. He went after who was the other guy he dunked on earlier this year? He dunked on somebody, but
he got somebody.
Was it Ben Simmons? I can't remember. Let's talk about some real shit though. Who voted today, guys? Huh?
Yeah, I did, of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I know your ass didn't.
Nah, I did not. I had to work.
You got 3 hours.
I can tell about a look after this.
I was driving.
They close at 8.
They close at 8.
The Duke Blue Devils are playing the Kentucky Wildcats. Nigga Zion is on tonight.
You got a radio?
I'm not voting.
All right. When you see the taco trucks not open no more.
Nigga, I eat a Taco Bell anyway.
Hey, when you see me not here to produce your show.
Shit, you're right, Paul. I get your wife, Paul. We figure got to keep you in the country. Oh shit. Okay, but you guys voted Democrat, I suppose.
Of course.
Are we okay to talk about our political views here?
Yeah, 100%.
Of course.
So I think one of the big policies here was rent control, right? Mm-hmm. We wanted to make sure we take care of that because they can't keep raising that shit on us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, This shit's
it's
fucking expensive.
The
man.
gentrification in LA is because people just coming here like
Inglewood is not even Inglewood anymore.
yeah. You feel
it's-
when you drive through, it's like you gotta go further south to get that feel
Yeah, it's Ingleshire.
for the real.
Inglewood and Wilshire. Like,
Who's looking for the real?
Hey, niggas, some people are looking for the real. You know what's funny? My Google might be saying Wilshire.
yeah.
In 800 feet, make a left on Wilshire.
That's what it's becoming.
Yeah, they be spelling shit wrong, man.
Oh, speaking of
What's up?
political shit, did you see what Jim Carrey tweeted to Ted Cruz? He said,
"Is Jim giving niggas smoke out here?"
"Oh my God, wow, sorry I rattled your chain, Ted Cruz. I thought you would have more important things to do 2 days before an election, like sucking up the guy who called your wife ugly and accused your dad of murder. But I get it. It's hard to say no when Trump's grabbing you by the pussy."
Yo, shout out to Jim Carrey. Yo, he's been on some like real like I don't give a fuck. I'm on my wolf shit these past couple of years. Like I heard his show is good, his new show on Showtime, and he's just been really like free with his thoughts. Like he don't care. You know, he didn't seen a lot. He didn't.
Did you see that documentary?
On Jim Carrey?
Mhm.
I gotta watch. Where's it on? What's it on?
I think it's on Netflix.
I watched that. I love Jim Carrey, man.
He is kind of like,
He's just really like in a free place.
yeah, that's one way to describe
It borders crazy.
Yeah.
It probably borders crazy, but he's really free.
Because he was obviously going through some shit.
Mhm.
Well, he was the divorce with Jenna.
I mean, his girlfriend hung herself and then wrote a letter saying, "You're the reason why I did this."
Oh yeah, that's a lot to take.
That's heavy.
That's
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's naturally like well, but the thing that makes him great, but he's just like, man, something's wrong with that white boy. Like Sense and Living Color, like
But him on In Living Color though, to stand out like that was
to stand out for
insane.
sure. What would be your top 3 Jim Carrey movies? Let's just do top 3. It doesn't have to be the best ones, what people loved, or what people say. Is it just your personal top 3 favorite Jim Carrey movies that you could just watch?
Me, Myself, and Irene.
Okay, that was good. I like that one.
Ace Ventura.
Okay, I never got into Ace.
I watched it as a kid and
It stuck with you. You still fuck with it. Okay, I know. I get it. I'm just saying. I just never got it when I was young. I just didn't get into that one.
And it's tough for me between Bruce Almighty
Okay.
and Dumb and Dumber. Those last two.
How about you, Paul?
Ace Ventura
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
The Man on the Moon
That was when he tried to do dramatic stuff, right?
when he did no, that's when he did Andy Kaufman,
Right. Sorry.
and that's the movie that kind of messed him up like mentally too.
Oh,
because
really?
He like
Method
became
acting?
Andy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's what the documentary is about. That specific movie. because he
wasn't
was
that
like
Cable Guy?
Cable Guy was another. That was another good one though, but
Okay.
it wasn't for that movie.
But they said he just went through a lot trying to get ready for that role.
He was one of those guys that like, if you're on set with him, you hate him.
Because he becomes that person.
Becomes that person, but it's obnoxious. But it was crazy because they said they had people on set that were friends with Andy Kaufman that were like, that's not what Andy did at all. But he's just so over the top. And they're just like, nah, he was cool. He was a cool guy.
Is it like Jared Leto? They said during Suicide Squad, he sent like Will or Viola Davis an open condom in the mail and shit like that.
Sending them niggas like dead rats.
Yeah, dead rats and shit like yo, relax, motherfucker. So what was your 3? You said
I
Ace?
actually really like Cable Guy. Ace Ventura and Man on the Moon. I'd go with that. Mask is another one.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mask.
Oh, okay, The Mask. My 3.
Smoking.
Batman Forever. I loved him in Batman Forever. I don't know why.
Riddler?
He used the
The
Riddler.
Riddler. Yeah, that was my shit. I could watch Batman Forever. Even if that's
the
not.
one with George Clooney?
No, that's the one with Tommy Lee Jones and Val Kilmer.
No, who was the Batman in that one?
Val Kilmer.
Oh, Val Kilmer. Okay.
Yeah. The one that George Clooney was Batman and Robin with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
I think he's the shittiest Batman.
George Clooney.
Yeah.
He was too cool, man.
He had the bat nipples.
Yeah,
on
bat
the
nipples.
suit.
Yeah.
That's what he had.
Yeah, Clooney was just too cool. Like it was just there's no darkness to him. He's just everything's too swell. Like and that that movie was just a mess altogether. I loved it when I was a kid, but when I got older, I was like, yeah, this is trash. But Batman Forever still holds up to me. I go with Bruce. There was another one that he did that was really good. Yes Man. Yes. When
when he couldn't say no.
he couldn't say no.
Yeah.
Oh, but liar.
Liar,
though.
liar.
Fuck.
Liar.
Yeah, I gotta go with liar.
God,
So those are my 3.
I feel like we're still missing some. Although I gotta give you.
I mean,
props
he's
on
got
Bruce
like a-
Almighty because Bruce Almighty was.
Having fun with Dick and Jane was really good too. That was really
Have
funny.
you seen The Truman Show?
I didn't see the
Truman Show is really
Yeah,
good.
that's a good.
Don't you like when you watch it? Didn't you think like I kind of live my life like that?
Yeah,
Where it's like you kind of live your life because the whole concept is you living your life like it's a TV show, but for him it was an actual TV show.
yeah,
But like I kind of from when I was like a little kid, I was like, oh yeah, this is like a TV show.
yeah.
I'm like the main
yeah,
character.
Yeah.
Like it's insane, man.
Yeah, man, Jim Carrey, he the shit.
Yeah.
Have you watched any specials lately? And comedy specials?
I saw The Degenerates on Netflix.
How many have you watched?
I've watched. No, I've only seen the 2. I've seen Big J and I saw
Yamanika?
Joey Diaz. I didn't see Yamanika's yet, but I want to check it
Yamanika's
out.
my girl. She's super funny. I'm sure Big J's was funny. Wait, Big J did the Degenerates?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, he did an hour special though.
But they won't give him an hour on Netflix.
So he probably doing that to get the hour.
If they give him the hour, they gave him a 30. Comedy Central gave him an hour.
Right. Well, yeah.
He deserves it, man.
Does it feel okay? Let's talk about this, right? The way the comedy landscape is making it out to be like Tony, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but when a lot of comics are coming up, they're usually a rite of passages. You're doing late night sets or TV spots, then you get to a half hour, and then you get to an hour, and then after that, it's pretty much putting out your hours until you know you don't want to do them anymore. But with how Netflix and Comedy Central and Showtime and whatever they've crowded the market, it's like some people work up to get an hour on this network, but then they won't get another one on that one, so then they do a half. But it's kind of like in a way going backwards. But is it going backwards at this point in the game? Where if he's getting a special, it's good because it's just another fan base that might not know who he was.
Yeah. Well, I feel like so. Look at who was on the Degenerates.
Right.
So we had the 6. We had Christina P, Yamanika,
Yeah.
Joey Diaz,
Right.
Big J, Brad Williams, and Lisa.
And
Lisa
Joey's
Traeger.
never done an hour either, right?
Joey's never done it, which is another one of those like,
Yeah.
yo, Joey's the only guy I've ever seen at the store that got a standing ovation during his intro. You know,
He's this old like Italian dude, but like got
he's a Cuban, Cubano.
Cuban, but Italians love him for some reason.
Yeah, because he looks like an old like mob
Old
boss.
gangster, and he just talks like that. And he's just fucking. He's like dirty, but he's a fucking hilarious. He's been around like a long time.
Yeah.
So he's finally starting to get some love by the mainstream. But the way like Netflix is just throwing a boatload of money into specials, but there's people who've done like hour specials before who are like taking the half hour deals. But it doesn't feel like it's a. I don't think Jay is taking a knock. Like I just think he just wants to put out his shit.
It's an
yeah, I
extra
was gonna
thing.
say I feel like work is work. You know what I mean? And
It's
like,
tr-
and then you got to find a way to like you said, reach different fan bases. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
But back in the day, it was such a like a perception thing. It's like you go from late to half hour,
Yeah, it's
and
like
then you do an hour, and then it's just there after
Yeah.
that. Your comedy
you,
specials
just,
is just
you stay at it, you never go back.
But-
But the game has changed.
the game. Yeah.
Plus, I think Big J's problem is like a lot of people see too much Attell in him. 'Cause that's kinda like
that was
his-
that was his guy.
that was his guy.
David Tell. I think you heard of David Tell.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people who have come up these last like 5 years who are like, I don't want to say disciples, but I guess so because they came up in comedy touring with David Tell a lot. So when you're watching somebody who's taking you on the road a lot, you just somehow subconsciously gravitate in style a little bit.
Yeah,
So
you end up like almost sounding like them almost. Not sounding
in
exactly
ways,
like them,
but
like
the way you
there's
write jokes, your
certain things, like-
subtleties
Yeah.
can sometimes carry through. And they're very good. Well, David Tell is a really great joke writer. I feel like Jay is actually a much better improviser.
Yeah.
he improvises off the rip, and he's very good off the dome. But their subject matter is like the same though,
Mhm.
because they do like a lot of just whores and dirty prostitutes and fuck.
It's like grimy sex.
it's grimy,
jokes.
sexual, like just
Yeah, it's not
Part-
like fucking the model. It's fucking the
grungy
cleaner at the
tattoo
hotel.
bitch.
Yeah.
who got tampons all over the apartment floor. I don't know. I haven't seen them in a long time, but they're great comics. Like the Tell is a beast. Fucking, you watch his writing, you're like, God damn, he motherfucker writes so much fire jokes. And Jay is naturally really good at improv, but he came up under a Tell. Kurt Metzger is another guy who really good writer. I think his thoughts a little bit more out there, like of a Tell. Like I wouldn't put him.
Yeah, well, I'd put Metzger as a whole just a lot more out there. He got into a fight at the Comedy Store.
Recently.
Yeah.
Like a fist
With-
fight.
Well, it didn't turn into that because security got in the way.
But he was pushing at least.
You know who it was with? Louis J. Gomez.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
because they've never been boys.
Really?
This is the thing.
I've been in New York and I never realized they didn't fuck with each other. They've done this Legion of Skank, nah?
No, it's because Metzger
And Jay.
and Jay are best friends.
Right.
Now Jay and Luis J. Gomez are best friends. They're almost kind of fighting for his love. Like, it's hilarious to watch.
This really happened about them? About over Jay?
There's a YouTube video about it.
Oh my God.
And it was like, it's not, but it's not over Jay.
Jay who?
Big Jay Okerson. So you could check him out.
Okay.
Yeah,
But it's not over.
Yeah, you gotta learn these white boys, man.
Yeah, the New York white boys. But it's not over Big J specifically.
Right.
You know Luis J. Gomez.
But his ego,
he blows up real fast. Like, he's a guy who's
He's a hothead.
he's a hothead.
Yeah.
And so he feels like Metzger's never respected him. But it got to the point where Kim, who, you know Kim Congdon?
Yes.
That's
The
Luis J.
girlfriend.
Gomez's
She's a comic
girlfriend.
Too. Yeah.
And you know Metzger's girl,
Annie Lederman.
Annie.
Yeah,
So
I know Annie.
Kim walked over to Annie during this fight, grabbed the sunglasses off Annie's head, threw them on the floor, and walked away. Because, like, Annie told her to shut the fuck up. She was just like, why don't you just shut the fuck up? And Kim, which, by the way, Annie would never want to fuck with Kim. Kim is this Puerto Rican girl that's like,
right. And with the shit, Lewis is also, he's a half Puerto Rican, half a white kid. So, you know, the Puerto Rican, you know, that fighter shit is always in there. And Kim with the shits. I definitely, I think in a fight of the couples, I think I would definitely take Louis J. Gomez and Kim over Annie and Metzger.
Although Metzger was saying some wild shit.
Well, Metzger is a layered fucking like genius psycho. Like, he used to be in the church. He was a
he was a Mormon.
He was a Mormon, and then just like had that epiphany where like, this is all bullshit, and then fucking got into stand-up comedy. So you got to think of this kid who grew up Mormon, reading all these books, being told all this shit. Then he fucking decides, no, this is some bullshit. Or to him, it was bullshit. I'm not going to say it's all the way bullshit, but to him, it was bullshit. And then, you know, he's a natural curious mind. So he reads and he's just so fucking like intelligent on the level, but he talks so much shit.
Kind of reminds me of that dude that was here. You remember the long hair guy?
Who did our show?
Called himself Jesus. And then he like grew up in like some, like on a farm somewhere. You remember?
From our comedy pop-up show that we had here. The guy who had long hair who was on this show.
Jacob.
Maybe
Givens?
it was Jacob Givens.
He wasn't like fat. It wasn't the redhead guy. He went up before him.
Oh, you know what? I don't. This is like, they weren't even here when I was here, right? Like, I had left. And
Oh,
then
you
they
bounced
came.
out to your spot?
Yeah, I think you.
I had to do another spot.
Oh, okay, cool.
I had to drive to Riverside after that. That was kind of crazy. But yeah, I think I know. It was who did it? Not the short. It was before the short guy, right?
Yeah.
I think Michael Longfellow.
Yeah, I think
That's who it
him.
was.
So Metzger always like, he used to be like heavy on Facebook before he got too busy, and he just like pops off at the mouth. So I can imagine in an argument he'll say whatever fucking shit to get under your skin and ravel you. And Louis, like I said, Louis is naturally a hothead. Louis is a funny comic in his own right, but he also like trains MMA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's really into like MMA stuff. So like, he trains, he fights or whatever. I think he even did like a pro fight the other day. He actually did a professional fight, right? Paul?
What happened?
Louis.
Oh yeah. He did Ellis Mania.
Yeah, Metzger doesn't do that. He doesn't fight.
Yeah, the nigga tell me he do MMA.
But Metzger's big and tall as shit, though. I mean, he could still be beaten. That's not going to really give you that much of an advantage. Maybe like the first whiff.
If I think I'm going to lose, I'm just going to make a phone call.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not fighting nobody.
I thought you said you go for your legs. Oh.
Yeah, right.
We don't go for the legs no more? We don't do the sweep?
Nah, MMA people just know too much shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not fucking with it, man.
Yeah,
All I do
that
is
happened?
box.
But Metzger would stab you in the eye. Like, he's that guy.
Yeah.
It's weapons involved in shit.
If there are
too.
scissors, you're getting a scissor to the clavicle.
Yeah, and Metzger is a scary dude, like, just to talk to. I think they both are kind of.
They're intimidating in ways. I mean, I'm not like, I was always cool with them. They don't like strike the fear like the way they do the other little young pussy comics who look up to them. But I get it, though.
No, like Metzger. So I talked to Metzger right after he had. Because he had a fight with Lewis at the Brea Improv. This is before.
So they got.
This was the thing.
White
that
on
started
white
the
beef is
feud.
really happening in the comedy community. God, this makes me so happy.
Well, I mean, Metzger did come up in the black room, so
He did come up in the black circle. Yes,
he's honorary.
So Metzger he's a Philly guy. So he was under Toure and Michael Blackson and Kev and
Keith Robinson. That was the guy who took him.
The one who mentored Kev.
So he's an honorary
mentored
Negro.
Kurt.
In fact, there used to be the car rides. It would be the three got Big J, Kurt, and Kevin Hart.
Back when he was calling himself Lil Kev. The bastard.
Wow.
It's a lot of shit.
So he's allowed at the cookout, is what you're saying?
Yeah, because he used to go. I mean, he was cool with Patrice O'Neal, so Patrice was like usually hosting the cookouts back in the day. And you know, Metzger a lot. Like, if you're from the East Coast, if you're an East Coast comic, like especially in the New York, Philly, Connecticut, Jersey, tri-state, East Coast region, and you started like in like the late 90s, early 2000s, you knew who Kurt Metzger was when he did Black Rooms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And or any comic who was a veteran who had rooms in those areas, then they knew who Kurt Metzger was because Kurt was, working with running with Kev, running with Keith Robinson, running with Toure, and all those guys.
Metzger was the only writer on those roasts that Patrice let write for him.
Right.
Oh wow.
Because he said, I don't want anybody writing for me. And they were like, you need at least one person. And he was like, all right, give me Metzger.
Yeah.
That was it.
And he's a kill. He kills like on all these roasts.
Oh.
On all these roast things.
Speaking of roast, what do you guys think about that? What Amy Schumer said to Steve-O about his boy Ryan?
And what happened?
All right, so
Recently
Ryan,
or a long time ago?
I don't know if it was a long. I saw it on Facebook. I don't know if it was a long time ago, if it was recent, but something. You remember when Ryan Dunning had died?
Yeah. And when
How did he die? He killed himself. What happened?
he used to like to get drunk and drive his cars really fast.
Ah.
So he was going like 120 and around a corner and went into a tree.
Okay, so she goes, "Hey, Steve-O, glad to see, yeah, you know what I'm talking about?"
Yeah.
How she go, and then she goes, "Yeah, it's kind of sad about your boy Ryan. I know you were thinking like, oh, it could have been me, and then as the rest of us are saying, oh, why couldn't it been you?" And like he went from like smiling to like, oh shit, bitch, what? Like what you say?
Amy got that snarky, witty shit.
So now a lot of people are like, fuck Amy Schumer. I mean, I always been saying that because I never really thought she was that funny.
I think Amy's funny.
Well,
I think she's funny. I don't like when she gets preachy. Because it's like, that's not who you are as a Like, to me, if you're not defending, like, look at what Chappelle said about Michael Richards. Like about like how when Michael Richards at the end, like started calling that dude like, whatever. So he was like, there was a part of him that was like, well, he was trying to be funny,
Right.
So there's a weird thing with like, about defending jokes and stuff. And like, she can say that, but then when she comes out and starts saying like, well, men shouldn't make jokes about women like that, it's like,
you can't
lose your
draw the
credibility.
line.
Yeah,
for sure. No, there's just, I don't know, like people shit on Amy and I get the criticisms, but I have a friend, I'm not gonna put her on blast, but when we watched Amy Schumer's special together, and like, I get why she's a star. Like there's stuff that she does really well, and that resonates, that separates her from other comedians, and she does these like subtle things really well. Like it's hard to like explain it to you, but yeah,
you don't have to explain because I'm never.
You don't think she's funny? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But I don't think Amy's that bad. The last special wasn't that good, but
maybe I just don't like her.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes if your perception of somebody is like negative, and you like them, when you're watching their stand up, you're already built in to not give them a chance because you're like, fuck this person. So that's why you really got to separate whether. Have you really seen and studied her work to make that call that they're not funny? Or have you taken people's perceptions of her not being funny to drive your narrative?
There's a comedian that we talked about, right? That I'm not going to say his name, right? But it was about the bitches. You know what I mean?
The bitches.
He got hella hoes. He be greedy with them hoes.
Damn, there's a lot of comments that be greedy with the hoes. Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, so yeah, like I don't like that nigga, but that nigga funny.
Right.
I be laughing like, fuck him. Like
every time.
It's funny. He's funny.
He's
though.
hilarious.
Like I can't not laugh.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Like I don't like him, but he's funny. So there's nothing I can do about it. I just gotta accept it.
Yeah, it is seeing them live too. Like if you see them live, that could change their perception. Because sometimes some people don't translate well on specials. Like I think, in my opinion, JB Smoove is one of the funniest motherfuckers out there, right? And he's been doing it like a long time. And for some reason,
older dude, bald head.
Yeah. Talks like this.
Yeah.
Let me take the 20.
Kind of look like John Sally.
Don't want to pay me.
Yeah.
Come on, Larry. Got to pay me, Larry.
Yeah.
You look like you put John Sally in the microwave.
Yeah.
Hilarious. That's funny. But JB, like, when to watch him live though, man, he's fucking hilarious. And like what you learn from JB Smoove, like I said, comics are so different in style, substance, whatever, right? Now, I'm not watching a JB Smoove to learn how to write clever jokes or how to write analogy-based jokes and theories and shit like that. Mm-hmm. That's not what you watch. You watch JB Smoove, when you're watching him, there's maybe like only 5 to 10 people who maybe are on his level of milking a joke. Mm-hmm. Like when I'm talking about like squeezing every life of a joke that you possibly can, and physicality and performance and energy, JB Smoove is like he's like at the top of that shit. And when I hear, and now he's in a different place because when you get successful, you're working, you're making money, your mind's in other things. There's just something that's different in your set compared to when you were like hungry and on the circuit, like he was 20 years ago. Because when I hear stories about JB from like 25 years ago, 20 years ago, whenever, they was like, yo, this nigga used to be so funny. He would laugh niggas out of the room. Like, think about how much you laugh so much, you had to get up off your seat and then fucking get out because you fucking having a heart like heart attack, like gut funny, because he would just go in and you just didn't want to go after that dude because he was just, oh my God, he was so retarded. But he was also like a really good joke writer on the low. It just, it doesn't translate because of all the physicality and extra stuff that he does. And like I said, when you're at the place where he is now, he's not as sharp as he was, but he's still, man.
He got booed off the stage.
Yeah, and I don't like that shit because in Atlanta, like those people just were there and they don't want to give his comedy a chance. Like they just had these different expectations of it, and sometimes niggas can be they just be annoying. So I feel bad. It's not because he wasn't funny. It's because they just weren't into trying to get into what he was trying to do.
At least, this is what I'm gonna say. At least white people like they won't just straight up boo you. They just won't laugh.
They'll sit and be patient.
They'll sit and like.
Because now it's racist.
Honey, this guy's not funny.
Right.
You know what I mean? Black people, boo, get your non-funny ass. I'm like, God damn, bitch, I ain't even say nothing yet. You know what I mean?
It's a tolerance, a patience level that we just, we don't have. And like, I mean, look, it's not that he ain't funny in front of black people anymore because he's killed white people for years because he was actually one of these comics from back in the day that did both crowds. Like he was in these alternative rooms and mainstream rooms in the comedy clubs, and he was doing the nigga of the nigga circuit rooms. Like he can do both. That's not the problem. That crowd that night, for whatever reason, was just not giving him a chance to get into his shit, and it just and I'm like,
that's crazy.
I feel for him because it's like, man, I done fucking done thousands of shows my 30 years, and like, y'all still treat me like I gotta prove this shit to y'all. Like, oh, fuck that. I like, I don't. You're not supposed to ever really think like that as a comic. You should always kind of feel like it's my job to get them around. But when the lack of respect sometimes that the crowd gives you,
there's just no respect.
It's just,
Yeah, it just proves that even the best of the best could have a bad night.
You could have a bad night, man. At any given time.
Chappelle was talking about how he got booed off stage like not too long. I think he said he was in Detroit.
No, there was a tour when he was first coming back. His first tour run, he bombed in Connecticut and in Detroit a couple of times because he just was like on some whatever shit.
He was too fucked up, wasn't he?
He was getting fucked up.
He said he was high as shit.
Yeah. His focus, your focus level, if you ain't, sharp, that definitely play a part into you having a rough night. That's why I don't really drink or smoke or do anything like that. I always try to come on stage with a sober mind. My thing is more like, let me drink afterwards. Like I'll turn up. If I do want to drink, I'm gonna get fucked up after my set.
I feel like if I drink, not smoke, if I drink like, a little bit just to.
I mean, some people need to get loose.
Yeah, to take the edge off. You know, they always say that. Take the edge off.
Hey, girl, take the edge off.
Yeah, like, I feel like that helps. You know what I mean?
It does. It does. But
depending on who you are, you know what I mean? Like, it works for different people.
Yeah.
For sure.
I like a beer before a set.
Yeah.
If I have too much, and then I'm telling chicks that they like to be choked. I'm like, you look like you like to be choked. And then I'm walking off stage.
My boyfriend's like this.
That's his pickup line.
That's how I go. That's my intro line.
This is how I try to clean up. No, I go both ways. Do you like to be choked? I was talking to you. Like, this nigga don't know, like that? Then this nigga don't know what to do. He's like, oh, fuck it. Yeah, man. What else has been going on? So we covered voting. We covered sports, just basketball primarily. NFL, how are our teams doing?
Man,
my Giants need to get another number one pick. We should. Like Saquon, I follow the stats, the box scores, and what they talk about on First Take. I've been boycotting. I just feel like the Giants probably should have drafted a quarterback. Like I have a friend who really just put out the thing is like, you always draft best available over positional need. No, I'm sorry. NBA people think you should always get best available over positional need, but in football, because the lifespan of a running back is not that long, you should draft a quarterback over a running back at the top of the draft.
Yeah, because running backs come out every year. Every year.
A quarterback is 2 3 years?
Yeah, because quarterback, it's very hard to find a really good one.
Right. And shit, and they're built for like 15 years.
Look at Sam Bradford.
Right.
He was great. You know what I mean? Like,
what's he doing now?
It just... Stealing money?
Damn, he bust. He's a bust.
Yeah. He's
How many years he been in the league now? This is your number what?
And he's probably like the middle of the pack too in terms of like terribleness. Like there's some guys out there that have like
that were big out of college and they just never got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there was like at least four QBs in the draft we could have gotten our hands on.
Any quarterback that comes out of USC.
usually get him?
Is a bust. No, is a bust.
Oh, really?
And that hurts me to agree.
They can't cultivate a good quarterback.
Matt Leinart.
Liner busted? Yeah. I remember him.
Yeah.
So, okay, so
John David Booty. Sam Darnold he threw like 4 picks.
4 interceptions in multiple games.
how many years is he in though?
This is his rookie
His
year, right?
rookie season.
It's rookie season though.
4 picks in multiple games?
Because I'm gonna concede. I'm gonna concede because you guys sound like y'all both have watched a lot more football than I have, especially in the college and NFL to follow.
Right.
So if you are a really good like QB, you're usually pretty good off the start. Like going into your rookie, you're never that terrible. Or have there been guys who've have horrible first 2 years and then figure it out?
Jared Goff, after Jared Goff's first year with the Rams,
All right.
people were like already questioning it. They're like, oh, he wasn't the best. Carson Wentz was a better pickup, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But now Jared Goff's leading it. Like he had a sophomore like explosion last year.
And now he's in his third year?
This is his second or his third?
Who?
Jared Goff.
Third.
This is third, yeah.
So he's breaking out.
Yeah. So he broke out last year.
Okay. All right. So
But this year they're like, what, 8-1 right now?
So rookie quarterbacks, like they can't have bad first years, or
They can have a bad
They
first
can
year.
have bad first years, but this is terrible. This is like
This is
really
this
bad.
is like
Because like all right, you can have like a bad first year, kind of like who was the quarterback for the Jets a couple years ago? Black kid.
the Mexican.
No, black kid.
Black kid, is he Mexican?
You're talking about
The one who the
you're talking about Sanchez.
Sanchez. Sorry.
Mark Sanchez.
Another USC quarterback.
Right.
Yeah. This kid was from West Virginia.
Okay.
What was his name?
I don't know.
Was he from West Virginia? I can't remember, but
don't remember.
he had a bad first year, but it wasn't like I'm throwing 4 picks this game, 4 picks that game, 3 picks the next game.
All right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just,
100 yards.
it just looks terrible.
Okay. So have you guys been watching college football somewhat? Keeping up somewhat?
No,
Mhm.
I haven't been.
You know,
My
okay.
my
Is the
my
quarterback
Miami Hurricanes suck ass.
this year?
Oh, they're so
Really? Who's your backup team? USC?
bad. USC.
Okay. So is the quarterback class deep again or no? It's not that deep.
It's not that deep this year.
So the Giants really got to strike gold with a quarterback because Eli, I think he's at the end.
He's 41, no?
Nah, he's not 40. He's like 36.
Did you see that meme about like when they told what's his face that they traded? They're like, we traded Eli.
Apple.
Yeah.
Everybody was like,
Odell.
okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like we got a good offensive core, but we just need a quarterback who can make some things happen. So, hopefully they'll pick it up, but we definitely...
But even like good quarterbacks where it's like, look at Dak Prescott, where everybody was like, he's a good quarterback. And now this year, like, it's like, all right.
he kind of... Cowboys, Jerry Jones is fucking him up. He just seems to just be so impulsive, and he's just such a fucking control freak. I just don't think you can ever get the team the way it needs to be because he's just going to keep overstepping.
Yeah.
So they're kind of doomed. Who's your football team, Tony? Your Raiders? Your Raiders too?
No, I'm a Steelers fan.
Steelers. Okay.
Oh,
From the what era? Jerome Bettis era?
Yeah. When did I? Well,
Geno
I
Smith is who I was talking about.
Oh
Geno.
yeah. I inherited the Steelers because my grandpa was from Pittsburgh,
Ah, got you.
so I inherited them. But I really, like the Jerome Bettis. That was like the start of my fandom.
that's when
like
they've been
early Big Ben,
Mhm.
like
Early Big Ben.
yeah.
He's still there, right?
Yeah, he's still there.
You won't believe who got me into the Raiders.
Who?
My mother.
Really?
Growing up, that's like what, 80s, 90s, right?
Yeah.
When NWA was like real big.
But then the Raiders hats.
And they were wearing the Raiders hats, and my mom was playing "Fuck the Police." You know what I mean? And the
It's
first
hilarious that your mom was playing Fuck the Police.
yeah, my mom's she's a big NWA and Tupac fan.
I remember
Yeah.
Tupac. Yeah.
like she has her Tupac CDs right next to the gospel CDs. But yeah, the first time I seen the video, they had like the Raiders stuff on. And
Yeah.
I told my mom like I want a Raiders hat, and then I've just been a Raiders fan ever since.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the last time they were good was when Jerry Rice was there or Randy Moss.
When Randy was there, they were okay.
But Jerry
they
got to the Super
were,
Bowl.
yeah, they were good. Yeah, Jerry they got to the Super Bowl.
Woodson, right? Yeah.
Jerry Rice and then Charles Woodson.
Woodson, yeah.
But 2 years ago they went to the playoffs and
Right.
and they could have won, but Derek Carr broke his fucking leg, and then we had to play with the backup quarterback.
Carr hasn't been the same since, right?
Yeah, he's not the same.
And
And
then
then
example of like great. He's gonna be the next. And then
that injury, fuck.
Yeah, now he's with little Chucky as their coach.
that guy's blowing up the team. He traded my boy Amari.
Mm.
His older brother's like my good friend.
He got a first for him.
Yeah, he did.
That was like
That was
impressive.
smart. That was smart.
Okay.
Got rid of Khalil Mack.
That was
All right, I've been hearing a lot of people kill that trade. That was just a really dumb move.
for what was it, like a third and a fifth or
You
something.
don't
Like that?
trade. You don't trade Big Mac, man.
Big Mac.
And then this is how dumb he was.
Defensive
Though.
player of the year last year. In 2 positions.
And
He was the best defensive player in 2 positions. Lineman and linebacker.
And you cash him out for a 3rd and a 5th round pick?
Well, this is what was funny. Gruden goes on the radio like the next week, and people don't know if he said it on purpose or what, but he's like, yeah, we're struggling at linebacker. I mean, those guys don't just fall in your lap. And he had just traded
That coach is, but they signed that coach to a lot of big contract, right? So they
10-year, $100 million.
Who gives a coach
For a
10
coach.
years?
I wouldn't sign Popovich to that contract.
Shit, that's fucked up.
Right?
Yo, all right. Last thing before we go, what is your criteria for what makes a great NBA coach? Like, what is your criteria? Is it somebody who? Because some people just look at the rings. Some people look at coaching styles. Some people look at how they adapt, what they do with the talent that's had year to year, and they evaluate based off what they did. Look what he was able to. Look what he helped get them to. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, and so some people have a different criteria and justify what cloud or whatever. Like, like a lot of people would think that Phil Jackson is the greatest coach of all time. I disagree because I never saw Phil Jackson, or I look at the players that he's always had, and he never rebuilt a team. He inherited always guys that were really, really good. Like
is that his fault?
That's not his fault. He was blessed with an incredible opportunity, and I think he does a great job at managing egos and having them buy into the system that he employs. But I don't know if he's a great coach if he had to start a franchise from the ground up. Like, would an organization be patient enough with him to get to like wait it out until he got good enough to start competing? Like, I don't know, because he had Jordan and Pippen, and then he walked into Kobe and Shaq.
I'll give you this though, and the triangle wouldn't work today, but back then,
Right.
that like it was like unguardable, the triangle.
Right.
You know, so like
Well, Steve Kerr uses parts of the triangle though. Golden State plays some of the triangle.
So did Luke Walton was supposed to do that with the Lakers.
They were gonna-
and
they
then
were gonna
and
try
then they
that.
abandoned it because it was like, oh yeah, this doesn't work in modern. You know, just shoot threes,
Right.
40 threes a game or whatever. I'm gonna give a big one right now.
Okay.
Ego management,
You're big on ego management.
because, and this is why I like Pop over Phil Jackson.
Okay.
Now, the thing that shocked me was the whole Kawhi thing,
Yeah.
because
That's
Pop
rare.
is, I mean, you saw with LaMarcus Aldridge. Pop is the guy that'll talk you off the ledge,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll sell you on the system. He'll sell you on the team. He'll keep you.
Because Aldridge was ready. It was like, Trey, you know what? This ain't working.
Yeah. But like, there's been so many coaches with great teams that are quote unquote great coaches. Look at like somebody that is very controversial, but Doc Rivers.
He's overrated to me.
He's super overrated.
Yep.
Well, this is what's funny. I was talking to, not to name drop, but I was talking to Clipper Darrell, right?
I don't know.
About he's like the number one Clipper fan, super
Gotcha.
fan, whatever.
Gotcha.
But he doesn't call Doc Rivers. He calls him Glenn Rivers. And then he said, well, how come you don't call him Doc? And he's like, because a doctor knows what he's doing. That's why I won't call him Doc Rivers.
Yeah. I think personally one of the greatest coaches would be Pat Riley. And this is why I say Pat. Now, even though he did walk into the Magic situation, he took them from Westfall and they got them to like fast break and buy into being in super shape and running the ball. And then in the last couple minutes, you start playing the half court game and get it to Kareem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets to the Knicks. Completely different makeup from what he had. He doesn't try to make them run. What does he do? He makes them the best half court defensive team in the league. He got them within a game of winning the NBA championship. They made it to the finals and went to Game 7 in Houston, and they were contending every year that he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes to Miami. Miami was still pretty good. The Tim Hardaway, Lonzo, Mashburn, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he kind of like bowed out, and then he kind of came back in to take it from Stan Van Gundy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what. But his legacy's majority is of what he did with the Lakers, the Knicks, and some of Miami.
Yeah, and you got to give him credit for Spoelstra.
And if it's Spoelstra,
because
yeah, a
Spoelstra
disciple.
was just the face. You know, it's like when in baseball, when instead of becoming the general manager, you make them the president of basketball operations.
Right.
Jerry West with the Clippers now, even though he's not like down there, he's not the guy. He's still the guy running the
For
shit
sure.
behind the
They're in
scenes.
much better shape because Jerry West, shit. He
Traded
makes everybody
Chris Paul
somewhat good.
and traded Blake Griffin.
He got out of that deal. How did you like? You would think that was an impossible contract situation to get out of.
that Blake shit.
He figured it out. He figured a way
that was
out.
an ugly
And look who he
contract.
got for Blake. He got Toby. He got
Toby
Avery Bradley. He
Bradley.
got Boban, who's like
Yeah.
killing it.
That big center?
Yeah, he's like
Yeah,
7'19"
yeah. He's funny.
or whatever. He's dunking the ball without
Jumping. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And they got cap space so that they can get back into free agency and hopefully get a star.
Yeah, and look who they got for Chris Paul. They got Montrezl Harrell.
He was a good some role players. Yeah.
Pat Beverly. That's why I think
Harold, that's the one who got in D Rose's face last night. You see what happened? D Rose.
Yeah, that was him. That was Montrez. Yeah, from Louisville.
D Rose stood 10 toes. He looked at him like, "Fuck you, soft ass nigga." I read his lips. Fuck you, soft ass.
That was Derek. Was it him?
Hey, but they got Harold playing the 5.
Yeah, the small ball 5.
Crazy. Yeah. But like, that's why the Clippers are making the playoffs this year. You heard it here first.
Paul believes.
I'm for the culture life.
Well, here's the thing. I said that the Pelicans are not going to make it because I feel like without Anthony Davis, they're super shallow as a team.
He's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He's been dinged, so they've already they're like 4-6 already. So it's like he has to play damn near dominant every night.
Did you hear what he said? Like he just came out and said, I have to play perfect for us to have a chance. So if you have to play perfect and then you kind of get nicked, I mean, he's been healthy the last couple of years, but he just gets beat up too much. I don't trust it. Like an ankle injury, 6 weeks, and their season is done. Mm-hmm. So they're super shallow to me. We just got 2 years until he ends up with the Warriors.
Come to LA,
LeBron will take care of you.
He's gonna end up on Golden State.
Okay,
and
so
I'm becoming a WNBA fan.
Who you think? You think Lakers will make that trade for AD, or they? I don't think they should wait. I think you have to.
They should trade everybody for AD.
Yeah,
I wouldn't trade everybody.
It's everybody.
I
but
would
Lonzo.
in a heartbeat.
Who you giving? You have to give up Ingram, Kuzma.
You have to give up
KCP
Ingram,
to make the money work,
and
Rondo. No,
Hart.
KCP.
Probably Hart.
Well, they have to get somebody to make the money work though. So you got to give KCP his $12 million.
I think you got to trade the hot dog vendor. You got to trade the cheerleaders. Buy Laker girls. You're sending them out.
Sending them away. All right.
And you got to trade Staples Center. They'll play at the Forum.
Forum's looking nice again, I hear. My girl just went to the Drake concert.
Are the Clippers going to play there?
At the Forum?
Yeah.
Fucking go to Seattle, man.
Nah, you know why they're not going to Seattle?
Because Ballmer's an idiot?
No, Ballmer said this. He said, why would I make my team less valuable? Their team is way more valuable in LA than in Seattle.
The real estate?
Yeah.
The real estate, the market. Like even if they're the second team in LA, you're making more money as the second team in LA than you would be as the Seattle team.
The only team.
I heard the Kings were super close to going to Seattle, and then something happened.
They should. The Sacramento market? Are you kidding me? You can't even pack out comedy clubs in Sacramento. How are you packing out a stadium?
Yeah, why don't the Kings go to Sac? I think I said the Kings should go. Who else could go? The Thunder could just go back to Seattle, but that's not gonna happen.
Portland.
Nah, Portland's market is good.
Yeah.
You think it's better than Seattle?
Yeah, it's just as big a basketball town. It's just Nike. It's the home of Nike.
Yeah.
The thing about Seattle is you do get like Canada.
You get the Canada.
Like you
people.
get like Vancouver.
Okay, well, who in the West do I know? Memphis can go to Seattle. The Grizzlies can go to Seattle. Memphis don't need a basketball team.
You don't think Tennessee? Good basketball market. You don't see Zach Randolph on.
They're pining to keep Gasol. They're pining to keep Gasol on that team. That's how much they have hope for. Gasol is their legend. Mm-hmm. Wait, I mean he was a good player. Like let's not take that away from him.
Legendary Laker player Marc Gasol.
He started there too. He got traded for his brother with grit and grind. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if the Grizzlies left, Memphis was hurt for a little bit, but they'll be all right. Or Pelicans. Take the Pelicans. New Orleans don't support that. They don't even appreciate Anthony Davis.
Isn't that hilarious? How? Because you know the Utah Jazz started out in New Orleans,
right?
So that's why it was the New Orleans Jazz. But now it's the Utah Jazz because of like when you think of Jazz, you think of Utah.
For sure. Pelicans could go. New Orleans don't need that team. I guess they do need that money though, right? The income.
Yeah. Or take one of the Texas teams.
Nah, which one? They're all good. They're all thriving. New Orleans doesn't thrive.
So I want Daryl Morey to trade the team.
If Anthony Davis leaves, they're done. They're done.
Yeah.
And on that note, it's for the
wait.
Russ got perfect ending.
Russ got hurt again.
They said it was just an ankle. It wasn't that bad though. He'll be back.
I bet money he'll be back tomorrow, dog.
Nah, he's gonna miss tomorrow's game.
Well, not tomorrow. Well,
he'll be back soon. Yeah, he'll be fine. They said it wasn't that bad.
The man came back from a meniscus tear, dog.
Wait, I told him that Russ's knees ain't gonna hold up. I feel like he got like 2 really great years left.
I don't like Russ.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't trust. He hasn't. His IQ hasn't grown.
Oh, so you like Pat Beverly?
Yes.
I will fight Pat Beverly.
Beverly fucked his knee up.
I
you know that.
Hate Pat Beverly.
Of course. Of course.
I hate. If there's one.
You don't knee chop when you play at LA Fitness pickup games. You don't go for that knee chop.
Go for that knee chop.
Yo,
I'm done with you, Paul.
If there's anybody like I see like a celebrity in real life, I hate him.
He's not a celebrity. Okay, let's
Well,
get that clear.
he's an NBA player. He starts on an NBA team.
When he retires, nobody's gonna care.
Would you rather fight Pat Beverly or Boston Celtics era Rajon Rondo?
Pat Beverly, dog.
You want the smoke with Beverly?
Yeah, because Rondo wasn't dirty like that. He wasn't dirty like that.
I never seen Rondo take out somebody's knee.
He wasn't trying to hurt nobody.
When the whistle blew.
He'll try to fuck you up, but he won't try to hurt you.
I was only fine with it being Russ. Now, if that was somebody I cared about,
did you see before we get off? Did you see the article about Russ? His teammate shot like 0 for 14 from the 3-point line. So he called him up after the game. Instead of going home, he called him up, told him to come to the gym and shot with him all night.
That's what's up.
He's not a bad person, man.
He's not a bad person.
You just don't like him on the court.
I don't like him on the court.
I don't like him on the court.
I don't like his style.
That's how I felt about like KG and shit. You know,
I love KG on the court.
No, he's played for the Celtics and he did all that hitting his head on the fucking wall.
That's how he always was, though.
I'm saying I didn't like him.
You don't like the antics?
I think Russ is too emotional.
I didn't like him against my team. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, that's different. But not liking him and not liking him against your team is different. Because if he was on your team, then you love him.
Yeah.
I didn't like. He's one of the greatest scorers. Like he was like taking Kobe amounts of shots. Russ just hasn't. He doesn't think the game well. He's blown as many big games as he's lost, he's won. Yeah, he makes the same mistakes that he's made when he was like 20 years old. He hasn't grown to me. Yeah, he got played by Donovan Mitchell. Yeah. Case closed. This is For the Culture Live podcast. Thank you, fellas. Once again, if you guys want to follow us, subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, MySpace. For the Culture Live is the handle. So just follow us, man. We post the episodes. Next one's coming out. This one's coming out on Thursday. Also, you can follow me at Nick of Comedy, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Man, Tony, go ahead and tell them where they can find you. You can follow me at TYSTERLIN, Ty Sterlin. That's on Instagram. I will be posting the podcast and how you can find it. So if you want to find it, just follow me on Instagram. We're going to take a photo shoot so that we can put our shit up because we're going to have to revamp and rebrand For the Culture. Amy, you look different. Amy does. Shout outs to Amy. Paul, thanks for kicking it with us, man. Yeah, if you want to follow me, I'm at the Paul Antonio. Tomorrow, November 9th, I'll be at the Ice House Stage 2. No guest list for that show, you cheap motherfuckers. Pay $15 a ticket. Damn. I'll be opening up for Bruce Jingles. Oh, November 14th, I'll be at the Bray Improv. That's what's up, Paul. Get them dates out. November 18th is Cornbread Kitchen's next Black Twitter show. And that's the only show I want to promote right now. All right. Peace.